All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, for understanding of these scriptures. With that being said, we're going to get right down into the lesson. I'm not going to cover this whole chapter, but I'm going to get all that's needed for edification. I recommend you go back and read this whole chapter yourself. We are going to be discussing Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, specifically the curses that are upon our people. But for greater understanding, I recommend you read the full chapter for yourself. Okay, so this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. And we're going to start at, let's see. Let's start at verse 15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses they shall come upon thee and shall overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store." Now let's stop there for a second, man. Okay? Here in America, right, it's very rare to come across a so-called Native American or black man who owns a business, man. Okay? Now you're going to get certain, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to get men who are of that skin color who actually do have successful businesses, all right, and do have stores. Okay? Just like, again, you're going to have Israelites that look like so-called white people. Just on the flip side, you're also going to have Edomites who look like so-called black people. Okay? Chocolate brown Edomites. All right, but you're going to get that. You're going to get that. Okay? So, as I said, usually, which is just an average, doesn't mean always, but most of the time here in America, which is Babylon the Great in the scriptures, not the Vatican City, for any clown out there who still subscribes to such a foolish doctrine. But the point of the matter is, here in America, if you're a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American man, the odds are your business is not going to be successful. Okay? For an example, there are more homeless black people than there are so-called white people. And why is that? Because we're under those curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Okay? But slowly but surely, these curses are turning from our people unto the other nations. Okay? Scriptures tell you, he whose judgment was to not drink of the cup, he shall surely drink it. Okay? And who was not supposed to drink of the cup? Okay? Esau wasn't to drink of that cup of bondage and curses that we were. Okay, but now it's going to pass on to him. Okay, the scriptures say a man shall reap what he sows. All right, but anyway, verse 18. "Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep, because thou shalt be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goes out." Or Slakia, "Cursed should thou be when thou comes in, and cursed should thou be when thou goes out." Right. What does that mean? Cursed are we when we enter this life, and cursed are we when we exit this life. And that's exactly how it is for us, man. Okay, the scriptures say, "For we were all born into bondage." Okay, and indeed we all were born into bondage, especially now, because when you're born, your parents sign a birth certificate, which basically gives you away to the so-called Caucasian, okay, the state, okay, which is run by Esau Edom, the so-called white man, okay. So we are born into bondage, quite literally, okay, not chains anymore like what we were a couple hundred years ago here, but they still have you, man, okay. Why do you think that if you get behind on certain bills and payments that you have to make, you know, if it gets to a certain point, they'll come out looking for your ass, man. All right, because they know where you live. Okay, there's no way you can escape from this man. Okay, you can't escape from him. Okay. Anyway, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, wherefore thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with consumption, and with a fever, with inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew. And thou shalt, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Right, and that's exactly what you have here, man. Okay? Especially here in America, but this goes really anywhere we go. You have all types of deadly diseases, say for example cancer. Okay? You know, you got chicken pox, you know, sexual diseases, all right, like say for example HIV, okay, which all these things were created by the Most High, man. Okay, as a curse, especially to our people, okay, and it's just a fact, okay, it's just a fact that the Lord, since He put us into this low state we're in, these curses are still affecting us to this day. It doesn't. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to find this out. Okay, just take a good look at our people, man. All right, go over to some of the ghettos and the hoods, man. Okay, usually the vast majority of people who are in those neighborhoods are so-called black people. Okay, you get a couple so-called white people who are down in that area. Okay, that's true. Now they could be Israelites. Okay, but this man's even wicked towards his own people, man. Okay? Scriptures tell you an unwise king destroys his own people. Okay? Anyway. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. And the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder, and dust from heaven shall it come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed. Now let's handle that real quick. Let's read verse 23 again. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thy feet shall be iron. Now what is that talking about? That's talking about the prison, man. Okay? That's talking about prison. And that goes back to, what is that? I believe that's Isaiah, the 42nd chapter. Let's see if we go ahead and get that, because that's a good scripture. Isaiah 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none divideth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. Right, and that's how we are, man. Okay, especially our people, which, you know, it's just a fact that among the prison population, the vast majority of the so-called, or if not so-called people, but the vast majority of the people who are in there are so-called blacks. Okay? Of course you have all people in there. All right? Because you know, especially here in America, because America has all those nations mixed together as one. Okay? That's why America is called the melting pot. All right? 25. The Lord shall consume thee to be smitten. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Yeah, and that's already happened. Okay, we've been removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Okay, that's why you have confusion and face Israelites, because the Israelite men, they slept with heathen women. Okay, and since they slept with heathen women, that basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Over the generations of doing that, the children are going to come out looking so-called white, even though their fathers are black. Okay, but over the generations, you're going to start having Israelites who look like me, for an example. Okay, which I say that humbly. okay? Because we just have to take it off the spirit, okay? Because nobody can really trace their DNA back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's not possible to do. But anyway, 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Yeah, and that's, back in slavery, man. Back in the hardcore bondage. Alright? For example, they used to take, the Israelite children, the babies, they used to take them and use them for gator bait, man. Okay, they buy, or really just take the babies from their slaves, and they'll set them up by the rivers and swamps, so the crocodiles or alligators will come out and take the children, and then the hunters, they can kill the gator, and they can get a lot of money for the skin of the gator, the meat, and all that, man, even the bones. Okay, so they made so much money off of the suffering of our people, man. Okay? And that's just one example. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeroids of the scab, and with the itch whereof thou shalt not be healed. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as a blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Now, what does the word oppress mean? The definition of the word oppress, or oppression, I guess we could say, the word oppression, which is basically what it uses here, the word oppression by definition means a cruel and an unjust treatment. That's what the word oppression means by definition. Okay, so we are subject to cruel and unjust treatments. What is a cruel and unjust treatment? How they can steal your money by calling it taxation, which is just theft. Okay, it's what is that? Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, they who frame mischief by a law? There was another good scripture, I had it on the tip of my tongue, but I think I lost it now. I believe that's the book of Leviticus, chapter, I believe it's chapter 19, verse 13. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. Yeah. Okay, and this just shows the hypocrisy of America. Because I thought according to America, all men are created equal. I thought according to America, they teach that we're all as one. All right, we're all one nation under God. I say that sarcastically, of course. All right, but according to them, that's what it is. Okay, they teach, right, we're all equal. All right, basically they teach we're all brothers and sisters is what they're basically teaching. Okay, so if that's the case, will this scripture totally cut you by your teaching? Leviticus chapter 19, verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired should not abide with thee all night until the morning. And that goes into another thing, man. Because here in America, you have to wait 2 damn weeks, sometimes a week, depending on your job, to get your paycheck, man. We're supposed to be going home with our pay that very night we work. And we're not supposed to have money taken out of it and called, taxation. That's not how things are supposed to be. Okay? Now, while I apologize, I might have to do 2 parts to this because I only have like 18 minutes to record this. And it's already at 14 minutes in. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Let's deal with this. Let's read it again. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Right, let's deal with the wife thing. Okay, in this society, right, you can be engaged to a woman. I can't even tell you the amount of stories I've heard where somebody is engaged to somebody, right, meaning they're going to be married. But then when the husband comes home from work, he walks in on his wife cheating with either his friend or just a random guy he don't know. We all heard the stories, man. You can't make it up. It's just what happens out here. Okay? Now, truthfully, and let me say this, I've also heard stories as well where basically the man ended up putting the woman to death for finding out she cheated on him. And then guess what happens? Then after he did that, after he put her to death for her cheating on him, after they've been married for say 10 years, the man gets locked up in prison, and in certain places and cases, he ends up getting put to death for manslaughter. Well, that's unjust. That's wickedness right there. And that shows America is unjust and does not abide by the Holy Scriptures. Okay? And that goes back to what is that? Daniel the 7th chapter, verse 25. It says, and he shall speak great words of blasphemy against the Most High. That's not talking about the Catholic Church. That's talking about America. Okay? For all you peons out there who still are stuck in that Christianity. Okay? And I can think of quite a few of you. No offense. Well, actually, yeah, there is offense because, Yahweh Shai, which is the rock, he is the rock of offense. Okay? Matter of fact, I did a lesson not too long ago entitled, I'm happy you're offended. And indeed, we're happy that you guys are offended, man. Okay? Matthew 11:6, and blessed is the man who is not offended in me. Okay? Now, wait a second. If Jesus is all love, then why would he say, blessed is the man who is not offended in me? What is there to be offended in who they call Jesus? I thought Jesus loves everybody. What is there that Jesus says that's supposed to be offensive? Very simple. But anyway, that just shows that America's unjust. Okay, because according to the Bible, that woman and the man, if he knew that she was engaged to somebody, did he get put to death for it? All right? Because that's adultery right there. Okay, sleeping with another man's wife. And just to prove that real quick, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, and verse. This is This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 13. I mean, not verse 13, verse 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. So shalt thou put away evil from among you. Verse 25. But if a man finds a betrothed damsel, the word betrothed just means engaged, damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slays him, even is this matter. Now, I think I've read too much there. But that verse, the reason why the woman wasn't killed there is because she was not with it. Okay, she got taken by force against her will, basically raped in today's terms. Okay, but she couldn't, come against a man because a man is stronger than a woman. Okay, so in that situation, she'd be spared from it. But as we read before, if they both agreed to it, then they would both be put to death. Okay? Once again, Deuteronomy 22, verse 23. Go ahead and read it yourself. But anyway, I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this lesson. Lord willing, you can find a link down below, or just go on the channel, and you can find it uploaded after this video. With that being said, I'll praise the Yahweh Shem Yoshai. With that being said, I'm going to say shalom.